Students, now we are going to see the importance of molecular basis of inheritance. Do you know the importance of DNA, RNA? So there is a lot of difference between DNA and RNA. RNA is a oxyribonucleic acid. DNA is a deoxyribonucleic acid. RNA is a ribonucleic acid. That is a two important minor difference. RNA is ribonucleic acid or ribonucleic acid. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. So in general, chemically, there will be a little difference between RNA and DNA. One thing. Second, RNA is always single-stranded. DNA is always double-stranded in structure. You please kindly notify the important information. RNA is single-stranded. DNA is double-stranded. We know the details about the double-stranded means double helix model of the DNA. RNA mainly RNA and DNA is commonly they are all similar. What is the similar means? Both of them are act in a important way. One is they can store the genetic information. Both of the DNA and RNA are store the genetic information. So they are all similar in function. There is no doubt at all. And DNA is chemically structurally stable. RNA is chemically structurally unstable. That is two important information. There is a difference between RNA and DNA. DNA is chemically and structurally stable. RNA is chemically and structurally unstable. Main importance. Next, DNA do not function in any kind of catalyst or protein synthesis, but RNA involving in catalyst in function, and also they can produce protein, they can involve protein synthesis. So but this is the difference between RNA and DNA. Now we can see about the importance of molecular base of inheritance. Deoxyribonucleic acid, that is DNA, is found in plant, animal and human being. In general, there will be in the living world, there will be two important living in nature is there. One is prokaryotic, another one is eukaryotic. Pro means in advance, primitive stage. Eukaryotic means well advanced stage. The prokaryotic living organisms are always in a single or simple lowest living organism. Bacteria, virus, fungi, that's all comes under this prokaryote. Eukaryote is somewhat advanced plants, animals, human being. They all comes under this eukaryotic. So on the basis, DNA found in all plants, animals, but in prokaryotes and some viruses, they are also having their own DNA. But in prokaryotes, DNA is present in the form of nucleoid or plasmid. Nucleoid means there is no full development of nucleus or full form of DNA. Hence, we can name as nucleoid. In eukaryotes, DNA is mainly concentrated in nucleus. In eukaryotes, DNA is mainly concentrated in nucleus. So when we consider about plant cell or animal cell, there will be a nucleus in the center of place. In and around of nucleus, the cytoplasmic matrix is there. Cell organelles like, suppose we may take it as a plant, chloroplast is the main difference, but absent in animals. But all other remaining organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, ribosome, everything are present in both common plant and animal cell. Same way, the nucleus is also common. But nucleus, inside of the nucleus, there will be a lot of DNA is present inside of the chromosome. Such a wise, we can see in eukaryotes, DNA is mainly concentrated in nucleus, but is also present in mitochondria and chloroplast. That is very much important. So most of the students are completely acquire the knowledge about DNA. DNA is mainly present in nucleus. But apart from nucleus, out of the cell, there will be a chloroplast or mitochondria, and DNA is also present inside of the mitochondria and also in mitochondria and chloroplast. Do you know what is the reason? Already it has been present in the nucleus and the center of the controlling of cell. Apart from that, the mitochondria and also chloroplast are having its own DNA. Means what is its importance? Because suppose chloroplast may damage, chloroplast may reappear. Such a wise the reappearance, and it will be take its own structure based on only the DNA is inside present. They can produce the another one nucleus, another one chloroplast and also mitochondria. Suppose any damage or anything may happen, they can control the mitochondria and also chloroplast. They are all living as a auto such a wise they can produce its own chloroplast when it is damaged or reappear. So such a wise DNA is present in chloroplast and also in the mitochondria. This is a little difference. Next, we can see about in bacteria, DNA not associated with the histone. So I can explain in details about the histone in later stage. You please kindly understand the importance of histone in later stage only. Now I can introduce the importance of or name of the histone. We must know the details, all description about histones in later next step. In eukaryotes, DNA is mainly concentrated in nucleus, but is also present in mitochondria and chloroplast. And moreover, in bacteria, DNA not associated with the histone protein, because histone is always positive charge. DNA is always negative charge. Histone is always in positive charge. That is a little difference between DNA and histone. What is the importance of histone? What is the connectivity between DNA and histone? I can explain in details in later. And hence, because without histone, no histone is available in our bacteria. Hence, it can be called as naked DNA. In some virus or bacteriophage, DNA is always single stranded. Now, commonly DNA is double stranded, but here we can consider bacteria, they are always single stranded. Please, all the students understand it. Okay? Next, characteristic of genetic material. The DNA acts as genetic material. What is its character? One important message is it should be able to generate its own replica. தன்னை மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை புதுப்பித்துக் கொள்ளும். டிஎன்ஏக்கு சரியான தகுதி ஒன்று இருக்கிறது என்றால் தன்னை மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை புதுப்பித்துக் கொள்ளும். டாட்டர் டிஎன்ஏயை உருவாக்கி கொள்ளும், சிஸ்டர் டிஎன்ஏயை உருவாக்கி கொள்ளும் தன்மை உள்ளவை. ஸோ இட் ஷுட் பி ஏபிள் டு ஜென்ரேட் இட்ஸ் ஓன் ரெப்ளிகா. அந்த ப்ராசஸ்க்கு பேர் பை த ப்ராசஸ் ஆஃப் ரெப்ளிகேஷன். ரெப்ளிகேஷன் எப்படி நடக்குது, அது எப்படி, ஹவ் இட் இஸ் பாசிபிள் டு ப்ரொடியூஸ் இட்ஸ் ஓன் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் நேச்சர் ஆஃப் DNA, it should also be seeing in the later stage. Okay, good. And it should also be chemically structurally stable. And what is the importance of DNA? It should be able to store genetic information which is inherited. Now we can see about what is the importance of lesson, molecular base of inheritance. Which one would be inherited? The DNA acts as carrying the genetic information from one generation to another generation. That can also be possible to inherited from one generation to another generation. The characters are inherited from one generation to another generation through DNA. So it should be able to express Mendelian character also. That's all. Thank you very much, student.